Hello everyone, I'm Qin Zhang from the Australia National University. Today I present our work, Probing and Bridging Geometry Interaction Cues for Affordance Reasoning in Visual Foundation Models. The main question of this paper is simple. Can a visual foundation model reason about affordance not just as a segmentation mask, but as a bridge from visual understanding to possible action? Most affordance methods learn from labeled affordance maps or the human object interaction images. Given object and an action verb, such as hold, the model learns to predict mask for actionable region. But this raises a deeper question. Does learning to predict a hold mask mean the model understands how to hold? In other words, what makes a predictable region actually actionable? Our view is that a mask alone is not enough. We need to understand the visual cues that make a region suitable for action. Our core thesis is that affordance reasoning can be decomposed into two complementary cues, geometry and interaction. Geometry tells us where an action can be physically supported. For example, a handle, a rim, or a graspable part provides a special structure for action. Interaction tells us how the action engages with the objects. For example, holding a mug and drinking from a mug may involve different regions and different action-object relations. When we compose these two cues, visual understanding can be turned into action-relevant localization. We first study the geometry side. If geometry is important for affordance, the models with stronger 3D geometry awareness should also support better affordance prediction. On the left, we compare depth and normal estimations error with affordance performance. From linear probing, we observe a clear trend. Models with lower geometry errors tend to achieve higher affordance performance. On the right, we show a qualitative example. Dino-style features reveals coherent object parts and a graspable structure. This suggests that the visual foundation model already separates action-relevant geometry before any affordance supervision. So, geometry provides a special substrate for affordance reasoning. Next, we study the interaction side. Here, our intuition is inspired by generation. If a generative model can synthesize reasonable human-object interactions, then its internal attention may reveal where those interactions should happen. On the left, we show verb-conditioned attention in generated interaction images. The attention changes with the words such as cut, hold, drink, and support. On the right, we compare different models for affordance localization. Compared with grounding or segmentation baselines, generative cross-attention gives the strongest alignment with action-conditioned contact regions. This suggests that generative model encode useful spatial priors about how actions engage objects. After probing geometry and interaction separately, we ask whether they can be composed. Our fusion is training-free. The geometry branch uses Dino V3 features and PCA to produce candidate part-level geometry components. The interaction branch uses flux cross-attention and the verb-conditioned contact prior. We then measure the similarity between interaction attention and the geometry components. The components then best matches the action prior is selected as the affordance prediction. This gives us a zero-shot affordance map without affordance labels and without task fine-tuning. Finally, we evaluate the composed queues. Qualitatively, the same object supports different action. For example, on the knife, hold selects the handle-like region, while cut selects the blade-like region. Quantitatively, on AGD20K, our train-free composition improves over interaction-only prediction. It also remains competitive with weakly supervised methods, even though we do not train on affordance labels. The takeaway is pre-trained VFMs contains imperfect but useful affordance cues. Geometry tells where action can be supported. Interaction tells how action engages with object. By composing that, we can bridge visual understanding to affordance reasoning.